Good day, everyone. So today, we're going to tackle the curriculum design models. I am Ian Chester M. Silver, and I am your discussant for today's topic. So before that, I will present to you the table of contents of this discussion. First, we have the purpose of curriculum design. Second, the three basic types of curriculum design. And last one, the curriculum design tips. So our objectives for today's discussion, at the end of the discussion, the learners will be able to discuss and analyze the purpose of curriculum designs, differentiate the three basic curriculum design model, and at the end of the discussion, we will be able to apply the curriculum design tips in teaching. So let's go to the purpose of curriculum design. The ultimate goal is to improve students' learning, but there are other reasons to employ curriculum design as well. So kung iisipin natin, as teacher, we are designed to create curriculum para sa mga estudyante natin for a specific educational purpose. So, for example, designing a curriculum for middle school students in both elementary and secondary student. So, mapapansin natin that we will make sure that the learning goals are aligned and complement. Kumbaga, makikita natin yung stage-by-stage process sa isang estudyante. Kumbaga, the very purpose of this curriculum design is to improve the student learning. And also, it is designed without taking prior knowledge from elementary school or future learning in high school. So, kumbaga, tinuturuan natin yung estudyante natin to employ and ma-adapt yung mga learning sa araw-araw. Let us now proceed to the types of curriculum design. So, there are three basic types of curriculum design. First, the subject-centered design. Second, the learner-centered design. And the third one is the problem-centered design. The first one is the subject-centered curriculum design. The subject-centered curriculum design revolves around a particular subject matter or discipline. For example, a subject-centered curriculum may focus on mathematics, science, biology, or English. So, papansinin natin dito sa curriculum design na to na nakafocus lamang ito sa mga subject matter. Kumbaga, imbes na sa estudyante mag-focus, ito ay nakafocus lamang doon sa discipline, doon sa subject na binibigyang pansin. Subject-centered curriculum design describes what needs to be studied and how it should be studied. Core curriculum is an example of a subject-centered design that can be standardized around schools, states, and the country as whole. So, the primary drawback of subject-centered curriculum design is that it is not student-centered. So, kumbaga, ang disadvantage daw nito is talagang nakafocus lang sa subject, sa discipline or sa specialization ng isang bata. Kumbaga, it is not student-centered. In particular, this form of curriculum design is constructed without taking into account the specific learning style of the students. So, this can cause problems with students' engagement and motivation. So, kumbaga, kung papansinin natin, kapag nakafocus lang tayo sa subject, parang mapapabayaan natin yung student performance. Kumbaga, nawawala yung engagement and motivation ng isang estudyante. Our second type of curriculum design is the learner-centered curriculum design. In contrast to the first curriculum design, learner-centered curriculum design takes each individual's needs, interests, and goals into consideration. So, bilang mga future teacher, ito yung bibigyan natin ng atensyon. yung pangangailangan ng mga estudyante natin. Alam naman natin na magkakaiba ang mga estudyante natin. And nasa sa atin na lang yon kung paano natin i-execute yung learning doon sa kakayahan ng isang estudyante. In other words, it acknowledges that students are not uniform and adjust to those students' need. So, magkakaiba. Meron tayong mga differences when it comes to intellectual capacity ng isang estudyante. Learner-centered curriculum design is meant to empower learners and allow them to shape their education through choices. The third type of curriculum design is the problem-centered curriculum design. So, just like the learner-centered design, this curriculum design is also a form of student-centered design. Nakafocus din tayo sa mga estudyante natin dito. So, this curriculum focus on teaching students on how to look at a problem and come up with a solution. Kumbaga, as teacher, binibigyan nating pansin yung pangangailangan ng estudyante natin. And at the same time, bumubuo tayo ng mga solusyon kung paano natin masosolve yung ganong mga issue sa mga estudyante natin. So, students are thus exposed to real-life issues, which helps them to develop skills that are transferable to the real world. So, in this slide, I will present to you the curriculum design tips. So, the following curriculum design tips can help us, educators, manage each stage of the curriculum design process. The first tip is that we need to identify the needs of stakeholders of our students. So, magagawa natin to in a way of analysis. Kumbaga, papasok dito yung collection and analysis of data na related sa ating mga learner. So, kapag nag-conduct tayo ng mga ganito, ng mga analysis, malalaman natin kung ano yung alam at hindi pa alam ng mga estudyante natin. And also, it may include information about our learners' perceptions, strengths, and weaknesses. So, the second one, we need to create a clear list of learning goals and outcomes. So, this will help us to focus on the intended purpose of the curriculum. So, example of this are the lesson plans and the syllabus. So, dito, ma-achieve natin yung mga desired result na gusto nating makita sa mga estudyante natin. So, yung learning outcomes is pwede siyang makategorize sa knowledge, sa skills, and attitude ng mga estudyante natin na ipinapakita nila during the discussion. And we need to identify the constraint. Kailangan natin ma-identify yung mga problema sa curriculum design natin. For example, oras. Isa yan sa pinaka-problema natin when it comes to curriculum designing. So, kailangan nating pagtuunan ng oras yung mga bagay-bagay natin sa loob ng classroom. And bago tayo mag-execute ng mga knowledge, bago tayo mag-proceed sa discussion sa mga estudyante natin. And para ma-deliver natin yung instruction ng planado, na kung saan magre-result naman to sa mga learning outcomes and yung pinaka-purpose ng curriculum natin. So, lagi rin nating tandaan that itong mga curriculum design tips is not a one-step process. Kumbaga, it's a continuous improvement para sa atin at para sa mga estudyante natin. It will help us to ensure the learning outcomes to a certain level of proficiency na makikita natin sa atin mismo at sa mga estudyante natin. And that ends my discussion. So, we have discussed the purpose of curriculum design, the 3 basic types of curriculum design, and the example of curriculum design tips. Here is the references of our topic. Once again, this is Ian Chester M. Silver, your discussant, saying thank you and have a great day ahead.